DreamWorks Pictures embarks on an animated high-seas adventure in Sinbad, Legend of the Seven Seas.
Let's get red! Pretty cool, huh?
Sinbad is one of those greatest stories ever told. There's Tarzan, Aladdin, and Sinbad's story's never been tackled in animation, and it's got such a rich mythology about it.
We are both true to the Arabian Nights' 7 stories of Sinbad, and yet we also take from other mythologies to tell a story that takes Sinbad, that fabulous adventure character, and put him in the 21st century for a contemporary audience.
Our Sinbad is the story of a rogue, you know, of a bad guy, and he's a thief, and he's a pirate, he's selfish.
You're just gonna run away? Yeah.
I think he's charming, he's swashbuckling and exciting.
To get a first-hand reference for the character, Sinbad's lead animators were on hand to get an inside look at the actor at work.
It's just fun to look at Brad as he gives the lines that you were going to animate eventually. So I sat there and did little thumbnails, little sketches of, you know, wow, we could do this, and oh, he did that with his hand there. And
Marina is somebody who can trade one-liners with him and also keep up with him on the very, very physical adventures these two go on.
Wait!
And during the session, I got inspired by the way she acted.
I'm only doing this for the money.
Right. Kale is kind of like Sinbad's conscience. He's your friend.
Listen to you. You sound like my mother.
And kind of the spiritual leader of the crew. And he keeps them in line.
No adventure would be complete without a strong-willed, seductive, manipulative, and fun-loving villain.
And you are?
Eris, the goddess of discord.
Ultimately, what she's after is world chaos, and she's using Sinbad to steal the Book of Peace.
Very early on, we talked about Eris being sort of the product of her own thought, meaning that she could think about something and become that thing. She can think about moving someplace, and she's just there. She morphs, she twists, she changes shapes.
Eris was the most challenging character in the movie.
Who's there?
Because just for the design of her, she appears and reappears, and so much of her was discovered in the animation.
The Eris effects by nature are almost like silk underwater or cream in coffee. It's unlike anything that has been done in a traditionally animated film before. She's just as much of an effect as she is a character.
Make yourself at home.
It was really fun doing the morphing. There was no boundaries to, you know, once I got her into the morphing kind of section, there was no model sheets. It's just having fun. It's just pure animation.
No mortal has ever made it to Tartarus before. Alive, that is.
You still fight like an old lady.
Sinbad? You can't be serious. You disappear for 10 years, show up and rob me?
Actually see the actor perform as well in front of the microphone. You know, pick any hint of mannerisms or squint of an eye that you can actually use as well in the animation. So of course it's great to be there to see that.
If you want the book, you have to go through me.
The retelling of the Sinbad legend wouldn't be complete without seductive, mythological sirens.
Come and get it, ladies!
Sirens are the mythological women who sing songs to entrance the sailors so that they may crash on the rocks and drown with the girls.
I saw her first.
The sirens in our film, we really wanted to make them feel unearthly and based purely from water. So we did a lot of development to take animated female figures, but then turn them into like a living fountain, so that when they rise out of the water, they splash like a wave, float in the air, and then disappear into a million drops of vapor when they try to sweep the men off the deck of the ship.
And we studied rhythm gymnastics, ballet, modern dance, some underwater photography to kind of see the flow of cloth underwater. So we can make them more predator-like or sometimes reptilian-like and very quick-moving under the water. And then when they come out, we wanted it to be kind of like suspended, very ethereal, seductive, just to try to mesmerize the sailors.
Right! I love you.
Siren sequence, which was done by almost everybody in the department at some point, turned out to be an exceptional sequence.
It was an exciting technical challenge that I think breaks boundaries technically and in visual design. We've got things in this film like the sirens that I don't think anybody's ever seen before.
I don't think you can use the name Sinbad and not think of the monsters in the movie. So we knew right from the start we were going to have these great, big, epic, scary, fun, action-packed set pieces that were filled with monsters like you've never seen before.
Give that guy a raise.
We felt it was necessary for Eris to have something to interact with in her world. And since her world is one of total malevolence, it would have to be something frightening.
Run! Let's go!
I have a little dachshund. She has a huge scorpion monster. That's Eris.
The characters on this film are probably 3 times as complex as any other characters that I've worked on any other films, especially the sea monster character.
What the?
I mean, he's got 8 tentacles, big giant ears that flop around, tons of little suction cups. There's just a lot to deal with.
Go, Spike!
I got you! I got you! Go!
The effects on this movie were at least threefold, anything that's ever been done at this studio. We went to the effects crew and we said, okay, we're gonna do 3 movies worth of visual effects, but we're gonna do it in the time we've done 1 movie worth of effects in the past.
See, you wanna know what directing is like? Just nonstop.
Tim Johnson and Patrick Gilmore jumped at the chance to direct the exhilarating action adventure.
We really do work together. No, really.
No, we just barely ever see each other in the same room.
Hi, my name's Tim. What's your name?
Patrick.
Oh, I love your film.
Literally the first words out of my mouth when I heard about Sinbad was, where do I sign? Because this is the movie I've always wanted to work on, always wanted to make. It's really been a dream.
I think what's wonderful about Tim and Patrick as a combination is that, they have very different backgrounds, and yet both very passionate and good at story and, in love with Sinbad, but also the movie making and animation.
Everybody with a DVD is going to have to hit the slow motion button on all these fights. There's just so much cool action going on.
Tim Johnson came off of Ants, and I think one of the most gifted directors working in animation, and Patrick Gilmore, his partner, and it really takes 2 to pull one of these movies off because they do still take 3 or 4 years to make. You think of the great action stories, great action films that have been made, whether it's the Star Wars series or Indiana Jones or even a Gladiator. These are movies that had great themes, great scores to them, memorable. And Harry Gregson Williams has that ability to write that kind of music and has done it for us.
The process on an animation is one has to remember to take a really deep breath at the beginning because it's a long ride. Before you can set sail and start scoring, one's got to be on the same page with the filmmakers about what the themes are, what the flavor or the tone of the music is.
This life suits you.
Yeah. I wasn't made for dry land.
Everything the character's going through is coming to life musically, and it's an amazing marriage.
The core of the sound of the music is orchestral, but that's not necessarily to say traditional. But what one needs to feel from the music is a big kick and a rush. The orchestra's a powerful machine to put behind that. So there's a smattering of ethnic instruments to give the whole thing a flavor, but the engine room is the orchestra.
we set out to make a movie that I hope will entertain everybody, because it really is unlike anything they've seen before in it. And that's sort of been the ambition for the DreamWorks animated movies, is to appeal to the adult and the adult in every kid.
Stand by for sushi.
I think Sinbad, follows in those footsteps.